Good morning, class. We are back with our political science chapter 6, understanding our criminal justice system. Now, in this chapter, we will be learning about the judicial system. In that, we are going to understand about the criminal context of it. So, in the previous chapter, we have already learned about our judicial system, how judiciary is independent than the others, like the legislature and the executive. We have already seen. Now, how criminal justice system is defined as. Let's see. When we see someone violating the law, we immediately think of informing the police. You might have seen either in real life or in the movies, police officers filing reports and arresting persons. Because of the role played by the police in arresting persons, we often get confused and think that it is the police who decides whether a person is guilty or not. So we have seen in the movies that whenever somebody is doing something wrong, the police comes and immediately arrests it. So we think that everything has been decided by the police, which is actually not in the true sense. Okay. What is this then actually? This is, however, far from the truth. After a police is arrested, it is the court of law that decides whether the accused person is guilty or not. So according to the constitution, every individual charged of a crime has to be given a fair trial. So that simply means that whenever a person is arrested, it is not the police who is going to decide whether the person is guilty or not. It is actually the court of law which decides, and it sees according to the constitution that what kind of charges to be given against the individual of the crime he has done. Okay, so do you know what it means to have a fair trial? So what does exactly means by a fair trial? Let's see. Have you ever heard of an FIR? What is an FIR? The first information report. That is FIR. We have heard in the movies many a times police says that first go and lodge an FIR. So what is that actually? Or do you know public prosecutor who is? Who is a public prosecutor? It's basically the lawyer from the defense. So in this chapter, we use a fictional case of theft to try and highlight the process as well as the role of different individuals in the criminal justice system. So most cases go through a process that is similar to the ones discussed in a fictional case. Therefore, understanding this process as well as the whole that different persons should play within the criminal justice system is crucial. So whatever the occasion should arise and you are aware of the process, that should be followed. So if at ever you any point of time you feel like you should know this process, if you are certainly trapped or you are undergoing such certain things, okay, so you will understand that what is the actual process going on. I plead not guilty and I claim trial. So that means I am not guilty and I want to have a trial. That means trial means let the court case begins. So here we have a small story. The story is very easy. I'll read it and explain to you one by one. Okay. 18706, that is 18th July 2006. Okay. So what is happening at their apartment in Mumbai? Mrs. Shinde is getting dressed. She has been frantically searching for a gold chain over an hour. So on 18 July, in a flat, in a house, in an apartment in Mumbai, stays Mrs. Shinde. She is getting dressed up all for some occasion, and she is searching thoroughly for her gold chain for an hour. I'm sure it was in this drawer. Where it could be, she says. So now Shanti Hembram has been working in the house for. So Shanti Hembram is a housemaid who's working in the house. Okay. So this lady, Mrs. Shinde, is talking to her husband. The husband says, hurry up, we are going to be late for the wedding. So she says that I can't find my gold chain, it is not in the drawer. I suspect that Shanti might have stolen. She always spends a lot of time dusting my room. That is what she says. She might have stolen it, she takes a lot of time to clean my room. So this Shanti, who is Shanti? Shanti is the maid, servant of their house. So Shanti, have you begun to steal now? And that to my gold chain? Bring your trunk, I want to search it. We have called the police. So if you have the chain, return it now. So that is how Mrs. Shinde. So that is what Mrs. Shinde says to Shanti. That if you have taken the chain, let me search your trunk, that is your suitcase. Let me see. And if you have, please return it now. And Shanti says that, madam, I haven't stolen it. I have not. Mr. Shinde searches Shanti's trunk and finds an envelope with rupees 10,000 in it. He screams at Shanti. So when Mr. Shinde searches her suitcase, he sees that there are 10,000 rupees in it. And he shouts at Shanti and Shanti says that, Sahab, my brother and I have been saving this money over the last 1 year. We want to buy a bull when we go to our village. Madam, I am innocent. So she says that I and my brother has been saving this money for buying a bull for over the past 1 year to buy a bull once we go to our village. So we are innocent. But Mr. Shinde has come to the police station. And I have come to file an FIR. There has been a theft in my house. My maid Shanti has stolen my wife's necklace. That is what he writes a police complaint against Shanti. So Sub-Inspector S.I. Rao. So there is a Sub-Inspector S.I. Rao records Mr. Shinde's FIR. So this Inspector Rao lodges his complaint. So Mr. Shinde returns with Sub-Inspector Rao. So I will now write the statement that Mr. and Mrs. Shanti make about this thief. Let me seal the envelope that has the money and take it with me as an evidence. I am arresting Shanti and taking her to the police station. Please don't let him take me. I have not stolen the chain. This is my hard-earned money. That's what Shanti says. Now the next day, that is 19th July, Sushil, Shanti's brother, arrives and pleads with S.I. Rao to release Shanti. But she has been arrested for the theft of a gold chain. You can go to the court and get a bail order. That is what the police officer says to Shanti's brother. But where will I get the money to hire a lawyer who will have a stand as surety for her? You have taken all of our savings and sealed it. So that is what his brother is saying. Now where will I get a lawyer? And you have taken all my money. How will I fight the case? So S.I. Rao forcibly keeps Sushil in the police station for 2 days. Sushil is abused and beaten up by S.I. Rao and other police constables. They try and make him confess that he and his sister Shanti had a gang of domestic servants that have stolen jewelry from other homes. There have been other complaints of theft of jewelry from Shinde's neighborhood. As Sushil keeps repeating that he is an innocent factory worker, the police let him go after 2 days. The police beats up Shanti's brother and wants him to confess that he has taken the money, but finally he did not confess, and finally he was left away. Now on 23rd August, nowadays, although the court granted bail to Shanti after a month, she was unable to get anyone to stand surety for her for rupees 20,000. She therefore continued to be in jail. She is very traumatized. She is worried what will happen during the trial. Though the court has granted her the bail, but still she was unable to fulfill rupees 20,000, and now she is very much in trauma, worried what will happen. So she says, what will happen to me? I haven't done anything wrong and yet I am behind bars just because madam suspects me, and the money that I have been saving, will I ever get it back? That's what she is being worried about. So what about her money? Now 14th September, almost 2 months later, the police files a charge sheet in the magistrate's court. The court gives a copy of the charge sheet including the statements of witness to Shanti. Shanti tells the court that she has no lawyer to defend her against this false case of theft. She says that I have no lawyer to support me to side my case. So the magistrate appoints Advocate Kamla Roy as Shanti's defense lawyer at the government's expense. That is a defense lawyer who is working for the government. So on the government's expense, Shanti gets a lawyer. According to the Article 22 of the Constitution, every person has a fundamental right to be defended by a lawyer. So according to this article, please underline Article 22, where it says that due to the fundamental rights, every person has the right to be defended by the lawyer. So Article 39A of the Constitution places a duty upon the state to provide a lawyer to any citizen who is unable to engage one due to poverty or disability. So that's what our Constitution law says. Now Advocate Kamla Roy meets Shanti in the court. Here are my case papers. I have been falsely accused of stealing my employer's gold chains. That is what they said. Shanti said to the lawyer, Kamla. So they found rupees 10,000 in Shanti's trunk and said that this was the money she got from stealing the chain. But that is money that we have been saving up together. That is what his brother said. Now, on 11th December 2006, almost 6 months now, the court frames a charge sheet of theft of Mrs. Shanti Shinde's gold chain and possession of money rupees 10,000 got from selling gold chain stolen property against Shanti. I plead not guilty and I claim trial. That is what the Shanti says. The trial before the magistrate begins. Now the lawyer, the prosecution lawyer, says that. Starts questioning to Shanti and his employees. So tell me, Mrs. Shinde, how did the gold chain go missing? Now Mr. Shinde says, I have kept it my chain in the drawer. Shanti stole it. No other outsider except Shanti goes into my room. Mr. Shinde shoves her trunk in front of me and we were shocked to find it was 10,000 in an envelope. Shanti got this money from selling my gold chain. She is a theft. That is what Mrs. Shinde said to the lawyer. Next, Advocate Roy cross-examines. So, Kamala Roy examines to Mrs. Shinde. So, what you are basically saying is that you did not see Shanti steal the chain. Nor did you recover the chain on Shanti. Also, in the 3 years that she has been worked for, nothing has been stolen from the house. You were also regularly paying her rupees 1,000 as salary each month. So, that's what she said. Now, on 20 April, Advocate Roy examines Sushil and his employer's self-defense witness. Through the testimony, she is able to show that the rupees 10,000 found in Shanti's trunk could well be the earnings of Sushil and Shanti. Now, 14th May. As the trial is nearing completion, Sushil learns that Inspector Sharma has busted a gang of young men who has been stealing jewelry from the Shinde's neighborhood. Some of Mrs. Shinde's son's friends are part of this game. Mrs. Shinde's chain has been found on them. Sushil tells Advocate Roy about this. Advocate Roy now calls Inspector Sharma as a defense witness. So they understood that there's a gang in this neighborhood who was actually stealing away things. Even Mr. Shinde's son was a part of it. And that is why Inspector Sharma was being called. So Inspector Sharma, can you show and tell us what have you found? That is what? And on 15th July, the judge hears the testimony of all the witnesses. After the testimony of the Inspector Sharma, Advocate Roy argues before the judge that it has now been established that Shanti is innocent and should be acquitted. So finally Shanti is now innocent. Shanti, you are hereby acquitted of the charge of theft. The police will hand over you to the rupees 10,000 and they have sealed. In my written judgment, I have made it a point to highlight SI Rao's role in conducting such a short investigation that made you spend time in jail. So that is what Mrs. Kamala Roy told Shanti. Now from the above incident, you can see that the 4 key players in the criminal justice system are the police, the public prosecutor, defense lawyer and the judge. We have seen the roles each of them played in the above case, and now let us try and understand the roles more generally. Now what is the role of the police in the investigation of crime? Now one important function of the police is to investigate any complaint about the commission of a crime. An investigation includes recording statements of witness and investigation. So the police are required to form an opinion. If the police thinks that the evidence points in the guilt of the accused persons, then they file a charge sheet in the court. So whenever they feel that